Bill and Ben are quarry engines. They are twins. They play together. They shunt freight cars together. They even get up to naughtiness together. Wherever you find Bill, you will find Ben. Wherever you find Ben, you will find Bill. Sir Topham Hatt had come to inspect his quarry engines. He found that Mavis and Bill were in fine working order. "Unfortunately, Ben," Sir Topham Hatt said, "your buffers are damaged. You must report to the engine works immediately for a new set of buffers. Mavis, you will have to work with Bill until Ben returns." "Yes, sir," replied Mavis, and Sir Topham Hatt drove away. Ben was happy. "I'm going to get new buffers," he gloated to Bill. "Well, I should get new buffers too," Bill complained. "We're twins. We do everything together." "But you don't need new buffers," Ben teased. "You're only getting new buffers because you're so clumsy," snorted Bill enviously. "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." "Will you two stop being crab pots?" Mavis scolded. "Now come on, Bill. We've got work to do." Ben couldn't wait to get new buffers. Later, Bill watched as Ben chuffed away to the engine works. He was green with envy. He wanted new buffers too. Bill returned to his job, but he wasn't thinking about work. All he could think about was Ben's new buffers. "Ooh," said Bill. Shit! "Be careful," said Mavis, "and stop thinking about Ben's new buffers." Bill tried thinking about birds. He tried thinking about trees. He tried thinking about anything but Ben and his brand new buffers. But it didn't work. "I want new buffers too," he cried. "Just be happy you're in good working order," said Mavis. "It's not fair," Bill huffed, and he wheeshed soot all over Mavis. "Bill!" gasped Mavis. "Oops, sorry," said Bill. Bill tried his best to get on with his work, but the troublesome trucks had spotted a chance for a tease. Poor Bill, he works, he suffers, while Ben, his twin, gets brand new buffers." "I might not have new buffers," he said, "but I still know how to biff troublesome trucks." "No!" Mavis cried. But it was too late. Ben puffed into the quarry with his shiny new buffers just in time to hear... "Bust my buffers!" cried Bill. "I think you have," said Ben. When Sir Topham Hatt arrived and saw Bill's broken buffers, he was not happy. "You've behaved badly, Bill," Sir Topham Hatt said. "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir," said Bill. "Before you get new buffers," Sir Topham Hatt continued, "I want you to think about what it means to be a responsible, reliable engine." "Yes, sir," answered Bill meekly. After Sir Topham Hatt had left, Ben rolled up to Bill with his new buffers gleaming. "They are nice buffers," Bill said. "Thanks," Ben said. "I'm sorry I teased you." "That's all right," Bill said. "I was naughty too." "Of course you were," said Ben. "We're twins." Donald and Douglas are Scottish twin engines. They're practical, peppery, and proud. They nearly always work together. One day, Donald and Douglas were chuffing through the countryside, hauling a heavy load. Down the line, Trevor the traction engine had been struggling with a big cartload of hay. Crossing the tracks, the cart's wheels had broken off. Then Trevor heard a whistle. "Oh no!" Trevor cried. Donald could see the cart. "Stop!" he cried. Donald's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. Luckily, no one was hurt. "Stop being pushy," Donald snapped. "Don't call me pushy," Douglas snapped back. "You shouldn't have pushed me into the cart," huffed Donald. "You pulled me, you mean," argued Douglas. "Didn't. Did. Did not. Did too." Before long, the track was cleared, and Donald and Douglas were on their way. The twins were so cross they refused to speak to each other for the rest of the day. The next day, Sir Topham Hatt needed an engine to help Duck at the smelter's yards. "May I go, sir?" said Donald eagerly. "I only need one engine," said Sir Topham Hatt, "not two." "I am only one engine, sir," said Donald, "and I would like to work with Duck." Sir Topham Hatt was surprised, but agreed. Thomas was worried. "Won't you miss one another?" he asked. "I know I'd miss Annie and Clarabelle." "I'll work better on my own," sniffed Douglas. "I have work to do," huffed Donald. At first, Donald enjoyed working with Duck. Then things started to go wrong. "Did you shunt those freight cars onto the other line?" Donald asked. "You said you wanted them on the other line," Duck replied. "Not that other line, the other line." Donald was cross. Douglas would have known what I meant. He huffed. Douglas was working on his own. He chuffed dutifully through the beautiful countryside. But Douglas had no one to share it with. Although he tried not to, he was beginning to miss his twin. That night, Douglas's driver took him to visit Donald. "I was just passing," said Douglas. "Have you come to say you're sorry?" Donald sniffed. This made Douglas very cross. "I've nothing to be sorry for," he said, and steamed away in a huff. The next day, Donald was in a bad mood. Duck could see he was getting too close to the buffers. "Look out!" Duck shouted, but it was too late. Donald's driver was very cross. "This wouldn't have happened if you were working with Douglas," he said. Donald knew he was right, and Duck knew he couldn't pull Donald back onto the rails. So he went for help. Douglas was sadly finishing his work as Duck steamed into the depot. "Donald is in trouble," said Duck. Donald in trouble, Douglas cried. I'm on my way. And he steamed off as fast as he could. Douglas struggled and struggled. He finally pulled his twin gently back onto the tracks. He was relieved Donald wasn't hurt. Thank you, Donald said, and I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, said Douglas. I'm sorry, insisted Donald. Don't argue about who's sorry, chuckled Duck. Just be glad you're back together. And they were.
Met a girl in Santa Cruz at a powder bar. Sam Diggity and Boy Toy was there, drinking Patron at the bar. I was off Corona Modelo. I think I drank too much. I ended my night at the Hippodrome and I was drunk as a skunk. And I was drinking on, getting drunk on. And I was drinking on. Yeah. It's a fifth of May, and I'm drinking that fifth of Patron today. More shots in my cup than I do to do. I'm getting more drunk than Paul Abdul. Show visual fool, El Palomar and Santa Cruz. Watching Bill Cilantro's on. He's moving at the Hippodrome. T.I. said, live your life, I'ma do that all day and night. Celebrate to the sunlight, cause it's Cinco de Mayo, and I'm just letting you know that I'm drinking 1800 Jose Cuervo. Yeah, I mean, Cinco de Mayo. Drinking on, getting drunk on, and I was drinking on. Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Show Biz. Let y'all know that we drinking on Cinco de Mayo, but drink responsibly. Throw some D's on it. Double D's, matter of fact, designated driver. Holla back, celebration.